Okay, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Saturday evening live session on Lean Six Sigma. And today, on demand, we have decided to go for this topic called hypothesis testing. Okay, and by the way, you guys can recommend if you want to have some specific tools to be covered in the live session. You can send the message accordingly on our mentors number. You all know the mentors number, right? So 99305 wala number. Okay, so this is the mentor number. You can share your challenges as well as the recommendation that this is a specific topic I would like to understand more. Okay, so that we can take that up in the live session. That is how basically see the basic objective is to take the understanding to the depth. All right, so today's topic is about hypothesis testing. First of all, what is hypothesis? Let's try to understand that with some practical example, and then we'll try to connect with our own example where we can apply this. Okay, now hypothesis testing. First of all, hypothesis. What is hypothesis? Hypothesis is assumption. Hypothesis is our assumption. Okay, so it's like when we ask the question, what do you think about it? Now, when we are asked about the question that what do you think, we are actually we are giving our assumption or our opinion. Now, what statistics say? What Six Sigma says? Six Sigma says that whatever opinion, whatever assumption, whatever hypothesis you have, you test that assumption with data. Are you understanding? You test that assumption with the data, and that testing is called as hypothesis testing. Exactly. So it's assumption of testing some sample data. Very good, Mr. Sebastian. Absolutely. So before hypothesis, it's all assumption based problem solving. See, traditional way of problem solving without going to the deeper sense, which is root cause analysis, etc., and without doing this hypothesis or data validation, the solutions finding, the causes finding was all based on assumption. But what Six Sigma changed? Six Sigma changed this entire course of action. Six Sigma now is telling you cannot find out the solutions without validating your assumption, without testing your hypothesis, and that is the role of hypothesis. Now there are various types of hypothesis which we know and which we do basically in Lean Six Sigma, and some of you are not even aware. Let's say, for example, normality test. How many of you know normality test? Just give me a yes in the chat box. Normality test, or we call it as Anderson-Darling normality test, AD test. Very good. Now AD test is also a hypothesis testing. Anderson-Darling normality test is also one kind of a hypothesis testing. Now for the new members, this might be a little difficult, but hypothesis testing is a part of green belt as well. In analysis phase, you will find hypothesis. In measure phase, you will find hypothesis. So in measure phase, we do normality test, which is Anderson-Darling normality. That is also one hypothesis test. Okay. Now, process capability analysis is also a hypothesis test. And your regression correlation is also hypothesis test. Are you understanding this? Yeah. Is my voice loud and clear, or it's breaking? Dharmendra ji is saying it's breaking. Am I audible, clear, loud? Just give me a quick yes. Okay, clear hai. Yeah. Little volume you are saying. Okay. All right. Chalo, at least you are able to hear, right? Very good. So, yeah, okay, good now. Very good. Okay. So, thank you, Dharmendra ji, for the confirmation. Now, so normality test, या फिर regression correlation, hypothesis, there are so many things. For let's deep dive. So hypothesis is basically, you can write down hypothesis testing. What is the definition of that? It is basically validating the assumption what we have. Okay, so hypothesis testing is nothing but validating your assumption with the data. Validating the assumption with the data, it's called hypothesis testing. It's a very simplest, so what you can say definition of hypothesis is you are validating your assumption with the data. Very simple. Okay, now when it comes to hypothesis testing, there are two types of hypothesis. One, we call it as null hypothesis. Null hypothesis, which is denoted by HO or H0 you can say, and other one is called as alternate hypothesis, which we call it as HA. HA stands for, H stands for hypothesis, A stands for alternate. Okay, null meaning zero, nothing. All right, so null is basically is statement of equality. Just make a note of this. I'll give you example so that alternate is called as statement of difference. Now, what is statement of equality? What is statement of difference? Let's try to understand with a practical example. Okay. Now let's say you are a cricket selection committee. Yeah, Pilo and Null go. Yes. Now, let's say imagine you have a selection choice to be made, and my favorite example is Rishabh Pant and KL Rahul. Let me put it that way. Now you have only one slot of middle order batsman who has to be a wicket keeper. Okay, imagine Mahendra Singh Dhoni is retired. Now you have to replace Mahendra Singh Dhoni, and you have two choices. One is Rishabh Pant and second is KL Rahul. Both are fantastic batsmen, both are fantastic wicket keepers, and both are very good, reliable middle order batsmen. Okay, now you tell me. Let's say in the batting position you have to basically take the hypothesis testing. Okay, let's say batting position is number 5. Okay, middle order 5 number batting position. So what I will do, I will take Rishabh Pant average, which will be called as X bar Rishabh Pant. So I will take 30 innings of Rishabh Pant in 5th position, and I will take Rahul's 30 innings data. X bar is the average, last 30 innings in the 5th position, because you cannot compare. Now understand this, the people who understand cricket, you cannot compare Rahul's opening batsman 30 innings with 5th position, because you want 5th position batsman. So you will take KL Rahul's 5th position 30 innings, Rishabh Pant's last 5th position 30 innings, and now you will form a statement of equality that X bar P is equal to X bar R. R meaning Rahul, P meaning Rishabh Pant. And my alternate will say it is the statement of difference, which will say that X bar P is not equal to X bar R. Now try to understand this. Imagine if I collect 30 data points, and if I take average, let's say Rishabh Pant's average comes to 38, and Rahul's average comes to 40. Right? Now this is according to 30 samples. We have taken a small sample size, and from the sample we have taken these numbers. Now tell me, who would you select? Rishabh Pant has average of 38, KL Rahul has average of 40. Who would you select? Obviously KL Rahul. obviously, na, because his numbers are more. It's very simple, right? Very good. So we have to do hypothesis testing on various parameters like this. So you take batting average of Rishabh Pant, batting average of KL Rahul. One is 38, one is 40. Okay. But this is according to the sample. What hypothesis testing additionally provides us information? This is not hypothesis testing. The average, whatever we have taken 38 and average 40 is not hypothesis. It is simple mathematics. It is simple number. It is simple common sense. What is hypothesis? Hypothesis says the difference of these two runs average, no? This difference of these two runs, 38 and 40, is this different? Is this difference, understand this, this is very most important word here. Is this difference statistically significant for long term? In bracket, population. Try to understand this. This is the most important point of hypothesis testing. So, see, the question is, when we have the data of 30 data points and it is clearly evident that Rishabh Pant is 38, KL Rahul is 40, why do we need hypothesis testing? It is clearly evident Rahul is doing good, right? But understand this. The difference is only 2 runs. Understand this. Okay. If this difference would have been Rishabh Pant is 25 runs and Rahul is 45 or 40, that is a huge difference, and it is, you don't have to even go for hypothesis testing. But here, when the difference is very slight, you just want to check that what is the probability that this difference is statistically significant. Yes, standard deviation also is. Now, I am just talking about a very basic average, first of all. Okay. Then, we have another type of hypothesis testing for standard deviation as well. I will talk about that as well. That's a very good point. So, your central tendency is almost equivalent. Then we have to check the variability as well, which is standard deviation. That's a perfect Lean Six Sigma practitioner's thought process, that it should be like that only. But let's talk about this first. So why do we need hypothesis testing in the first place is, from this sample of 30, we are observing a small difference of 2 runs per innings. Is this 2 runs per inning difference, is it statistically significant for the long run for the population? When I say population, I mean, 100 innings, 200 innings, like that. Will it be statistically significant? Is the difference statistically significant to take a decision or differentiate between these two? Understand this. So what we do, we collect this data of 30 data points and 30 data points, and we'll put that in the software. Okay. So let's do one thing. And then we will check a p-value, a probability value, and that probability value will tell us. Okay, let me just, so we collect the data, put that data in the software, and software calculates the p-value. P stands for probability value. Now, when the p-value is less than 0.05, which is nothing but 5% basically, okay, we reject null hypothesis. Write this down. And how do you remember this? There is a rhyming which we follow: P low and null go. Everybody just type this rhyming in the chat. P low, null go. Very nice, Pratik ji. Yes, P low, null go. This is how we have to remember this. Whenever the p value is lower than 0.05, which is 5%, then we have to reject null. Null meaning statement of equality. We have to reject and we have to accept the statement of difference. That means there is a statistical significant difference in the population. There is a probability of statistically significant difference coming up in the long run. P low, null go. How do we do that? Let me share. If you have right now Minitab software, if you are in front of your laptop with Minitab, just let me share this file with you. Yes, I have just shared one file in the chat. You can just download that. The file is about 2 sample t-test. Now, whenever you are checking 2 samples, whenever you are comparing the averages of 2 samples like Rishabh Pant and KL Rahul, you have to use this strategy of 2 sample t-test. Okay, let me explain you this first, this example. Once you open this, let me know. The same example, similar example I have taken. Similar example I have taken. So there is a account opening process. Okay. So there was an account opening process which was basically they used to take so many hours, 12 hours, 14 hours, etc. All right. Now they have done a Lean Six Sigma project to reduce the account opening process. Deepak ji, do you have Minitab installed in your laptop? Then this file will get opened. Otherwise, it will not get opened. Just give me yes or no. If you have this, let me know. If you have it, just click on that. It will get open. I've just shared it once again to everybody. So, look at this. So, the standard process is the old process. So, Deepak ji, what you can do is just send a message on our mentor number, this number. Send a WhatsApp message and our team will help you out in that. Okay. Very good. Everybody has opened this file. Meanwhile, just check out this background. There is a bank. In the bank, there is a standard process of account opening. Okay. And this is a standard process timeline. Okay. The first account 12.3 hours, second account 14.1 hours, 14.1, 12, 15. So they have collected some data. Now they have engineered, now they have done a Lean Six Sigma project. And they have basically shortened, their claim is they have shortened the account opening time. So they have collected the data of old process and the new process. So old process is a standard process, new process is a pilot process. So what will be the null hypothesis here? So null hypothesis HO will be X bar standard is equal to X bar pilot. That will be the null hypothesis. And alternate hypothesis will be X bar standard is not equal to X bar pilot. Clear? Now we'll feed this data into Minitab and we'll check P value and we have to decide P low, null go. That's it. Okay? Everybody with me till now? Just give me yes in the chat box. Super clear, everybody? Very good. Let me open that Minitab file quickly. Yes, so here is the Minitab file, the standard and the pilot process. Now we'll go to stat, basic statistics, to sample t-test. Just follow this path, stat, basic statistics, to sample t-test. stat basic statistics to sample t-test. Now, if you select to sample t-test, here it says both samples are in one column, but in our case, both are in different columns, right? So you have to just select this drop down and each sample in its own column. You have to select the second option, each sample in its own column. Just select that. Just in the drop down, select the second option. In sample 1, select standard. In sample 2, select pilot. That's it, and click on OK. Everybody got it? Just give me a yes in the chat box. So what is the p-value here? So here you can see standard process, there are 22 sample sizes. The mean is 14.65. So x bar s is equal to 14.65 and x bar pilot is equal to 14.34. So as we said, the null hypothesis is x bar s is equal to x bar p, and alternate is x bar s is not equal to x bar p. Now what is the p value here? So the p value is coming to 0.485. So is it lower than 0.05? Give me yes or no in the chat box. Is it lower than 0.05? No, it is not lower than 0.05. So we cannot reject null hypothesis. So that means we have to say that the standard process and the pilot process, there is no statistically significant difference. इसका मतलब ये है कि there has not been significant improvement in the project. Are you clear with this? So whatever average was the earlier average, the new average is also very close to the same old average. So there has not been any significant improvement. Are you clear with this? And this is called hypothesis testing. Yes? Dalia, are you clear with this example? Just give me yes. So the same thing, KL Rahul and Rishabh Pant. You have to collect 30 data points of Rahul, 30 data points of Pant, put them in the software. If software gives, p-value greater than 0.05, that means there is no statistical significant difference. Okay, now in that case, now let's say for example in this case, we have to go back to the project team and we have to tell them that whatever solutions you have defined or whatever implemented is not effective. You have to think of something else because the average has not reduced significantly. In case of Rishabh Pant and KL Rahul, if the similar kind of p-value comes, that means there is no statistical significant difference between the batting averages. What will you do then? After that, what will you do? Tell me. After that, what will you do? Type in the chat box. If there is no statistical significant difference between batting average of Rishabh Pant and batting average of KL Rahul, what will you do? What will be the decision? Type in the chat box. Think about it. Do a toss. Toss kar lenge. Change the process. So in this case, yes, you have to change the process. We have to go back to the improvement, the project basically. And we have to tell them whatever improvement, there has been a small improvement, 14.65 say 14.34 hai, but that is not significant. We want more improvement. Increase sample size, okay. What else? Check the population data, okay. What else? Think about it. If there is no statistical significant difference, then what else? Think about it. Now, whenever, understand this, Now let's understand this. Whenever, very good. Yeah, Deepak ji, actually, you just have to shift to everyone because your answer is absolutely right answer. Can you just copy and paste it again and do it to everyone so that everybody will read your answer? Okay, please do it yourself so that everybody understand your answer. Alternate hypothesis तो हम लोग कर दिया ना, alternate भी कर दिया हम लोगों ने, right? The real answer what has been given is you can check. Let me just copy and paste to everybody. Yes. You can check. Now this is the batting average, na? So there is no difference. But we have to take the decision, right? एक को तो drop करना है. Now there are other parameters. What are the other parameters? It can be the wicket keeping, right? Let's collect the data of wicket keeping wickets. Last 30 matches में, who has taken more wickets per match? Now wickets meaning caught behind, stumping, and all those stuff, right? That is called wicket keeping, wickets. Correct? So if batting average is similar, you have to take a decision. You have only one position, right? So you have to check the other alternate parameter, which can be a wicket keeping skill. Let's say you have two vendors. Understand this. So let's say you have two vendors who are supplying the same material, and you have to choose one bit among them. So first you will check the cost. So you can do cost ke upar hypothesis testing. Then you can do quality. Collect the data of quality of one vendor, collect the data of quality of second vendor, then do hypothesis testing. You can do the testing of, this one, your delivery time. Collect the data of delivery time of one vendor, collect the data of delivery time of on-time delivery. Exactly, on-time delivery. Are you understanding this? So this is how you can practically implement hypothesis testing in your case as well. Okay, now let's try to understand this. Let me just, everybody with me till now, just give me yes in the chat box. Everybody with me till now. Very good. Now think about in your case, in your process, where is the opportunity for you to compare two processes like this? Type in the chat box where you can implement this hypothesis testing. Type in the chat box where you can actually do this practically in your process, wherever you work, right? In manufacturing, in BPO, in KPO, in IT, in bank or whatever. HT and SL, okay, very good. So HT of maybe one group and second group you can compare. You can compare three groups, multiple groups as well. Huh? It's not only two groups. You can compare one group with a standard. You can compare two groups with each other. You can compare three groups with each other. There are multiple ways. Okay, one shift output and second shift. Very good. So two production lines. Very good. So two production lines. If you are HR person, you can compare attrition of departments. Department 1, Department 2, Department 3. Collect 12 months data, monthly attrition, take the average of multiple rejections of two shifts. Very good. MTBF of two machines. Fantastic, fantastic. You can compare runtime, you can compare mean time between failure. You can compare MTTR. Same component, different machines. Retail में sales margin of each department. Very good. You can compare whether there is statistical significant difference. Very nice. Super. Male and female, you can compare, the gender wise, male, let's say call center employees. Male call center employees and female call center employees. You can compare the gender wise performances. Okay. See, we have data, we have software, so we can do all kinds of experiments and permutation combinations with this and play around this. Alright. Now, let me just quickly explain you some theoretical part. Let's understand this. we have this normal distribution, right? Like this. This is called as Z distribution. Normal distribution is also called as Z distribution. Okay. When we have more than 30 data points, so whenever we have 30 plus data points, naturally we get normal distribution data. Okay. But what if we have less amount of data points? Let's say we have 15 data points or 10 data points, then the distribution looks like this, and this is called T distribution. This is called T distribution, and this is against the name called statistician Student. His nickname was Student, and because of that, the name has been given as T distribution. That's why you see it is called as two sample t-test. And if you see, the data points we have are 22 data points, which is less than 30. So whenever you have less amount of data, you can take help of T distribution. See, T distribution is very similar to Z distribution. It is symmetrical, but it is, because of less data point, it is a little flatter distribution. If you increase the sample size of T distribution, to 30, 40, 50, it naturally becomes Z distribution. T distribution naturally becomes Z distribution. Understand this? Are you clear with this? So this is just one theoretical point. And now let me visualize this. Okay. For example, look at this. The average is 14.62, 65 and 14.34. Okay, standard and a pilot. Now, if I draw, let's say, pilot process like this. So this is the average of pilot process. Now this is very interesting. Let's focus here. This is my X bar pilot, which is nothing but 14.34 average. Okay, this is my average, 14.34. And on the other side, we have another distribution, which is a standard distribution, X bar standard. All right. And that is nothing but 14.65. So earlier average was 14.65. Then they have done some improvement and the average has reduced to 14.34. But that is very minuscule reduction. It is only 0.3 hours of reduction. Okay. Now understand this. The area of overlapping, this one, can you see here the area of this two distribution overlapping? This area, imagine this two distribution area together is 100%. Area together of these distributions together, if we put, is 100%. This overlapping area, in this case, this area is actually called p-value. This area is coming to 48.5%. Understand this. So imagine this two distribution, this complete area is 100%. Imagine this complete area is 100%. This area, the shaded area, is 48.5%. When I say 48.5%, it is also can be called as 0.485, which is nothing but the p-value which is shown here. Now look at this. There are two distribution and there is almost 50%. 48.5 is nothing but almost 50% overlap is there. That means they are very close to each other. So that means there is no statistical significant difference between these two. Are you understanding this? Just give me yes in the chat box. यहाँ तक आपको समझ में आया है क्या? Just give me yes. Everybody with me? Very simple. There is no rocket science in this. More the overlapping area, it shows they are very close because there is a very overlap, right? It's like they are hugging each other. These two distributions are hugging each other. Are you understanding? Now imagine So this is the standard, this is the old method, na standard, this is the old, which was 14.65. Imagine they have done the project successfully and now the average is coming around 13 hours. So let me draw here. Imagine this is now is 13.0 and here this is the old method, which is standard, which was 14.65. Okay. Now understand this area. This overlapping area has been reduced. Now this is p value. Now this is, let's say, 3%. Earlier was 48.5%. Now 3% is nothing but 0.03. Now remember our rhyming. P low, P value is lower than 0.05. We reject null hypothesis, meaning we say that there is a statistical significant difference. Now understand this. If the overlapping is like this, they are very close, they are almost hugging with each other. Now they are parting away. Now they are parting away. They are significantly different than each other. 14.65 and 13. Now the overlapping area has reduced. The moment the overlapping area reduces than 5%, that means there is a statistical significant difference between these two processes. Are you clear with this? Just give me a yes in the chat box. Are you clear? So earlier was this much of the distance difference. Now the difference has increased. And if that is the case, then we have to again check whether it is coming less than 5%. If it is less than 5%, it is statistically significant. Clear? In that case, then you have to select. Then you can say that yes, the pilot process has worked very well. There is a what you can say? There is a success in the pilot process. They have reduced it significantly. Clear? Are you clear? So this is called as hypothesis testing in practical way. We are discussing this. Everybody with me? Very good, superb. And now let me share with you a table. So let's have a look at this table. Yeah, let's have a look at this table. Now, when it comes to hypothesis testing, this one what I explained you is the hypothesis testing for the mean, which is this one. We are comparing the averages, na? Let's say if you want to compare the average with the standard. Okay, let's say you want to check the average delivery time of the vendor. There is a vendor A, so X bar A, and vendor is delivering within 20 days. Average is 20 days, but the target, the standard is X bar S is equal to 15 days. Your company SLA says you have to deliver within 15 days, but this vendor is delivering within 20 days, the material or whatever is delivering, the service. Okay. So you have to check this performance with a standard that is called as one sample t-test. One sample, which is vendor, and one sample compare with the standard is called as one sample t-test. If you want to compare two vendors, X bar A and X bar B, that is called as two sample t-test. Two sample t-test. Right now, whatever we have done was two sample t-test. Rishabh Pant, KL Rahul, two sample t-test. standard sample and the pilot sample, 2 sample t-test. Okay. There is another option called pair t-test. What is pair t-test? This is very interesting. Very interesting. Let's say I want to compare same sample in 2 different scenarios. Example, Rishabh Pant under the captaincy of Kohli and Rishabh Pant's average under the captaincy of Rohit Sharma, let's say. Same person in different scenarios. That is called pair t-test. If I collected the blood sample from the body of the patient, I want to test the blood sample in the old analyzer and the new analyzer. That is called pair t-test. Sample is common, tested against 2 different scenarios. Are you understanding? Bumrah, Jasprit Bumrah, same person, last 30 matches in India, last 30 matches in abroad. What is the difference? That is called pair t-test. Are you clear with this? Just give me yes in the chat box. Same sample want to compare in 2 different scenarios. It's called paired t-test. Okay, sample is common here. Yes, very good. Then if you want to compare 3 or more samples with each other, that's where ANOVA comes into picture. ANOVA. The averages of 3, let's say Rishabh Pant, KL Rahul and Sanju Samson. Now there are 3 players. That is where ANOVA comes into picture. 3 vendors, ANOVA. 3 shift operation, ANOVA. Clear? Just need to understand which hypothesis testing to be used when. Okay. Now comes where Mr. Amer suggested earlier. If the means are equal, let's go for standard deviation, and that's where the second hypothesis testing type, which is called variability, where we compare variances or standard deviation with each other. So if you want to compare 2 sample standard deviation with each other, that is called F ratio test. If you want more than 2, let's say 3, 4, 5, then it is called as test of equal variances. Can you give one example of one mean test as well? One mean test. See, one mean and see one mean is one sample t-test, no standard and sample. So I'll give you that example. Okay. हम लोग इसका practical भी करके देखते हैं. One sample t-test का. By the way, one sample t-test and 2 sample t-test, these 2 are basically covered in the green belt level, and remaining all like pair t-test, ANOVA, F ratio test of equal variances, all and above are covered in the black belt level. Okay, so 1 sample and 2 sample are covered. So I will take 1 sample t-test as well. Okay, now then the next one is proportion. There is another one, it's called proportion hypothesis. What is proportion hypothesis testing? Let's say you want to compare percentage rejection in 1 shift against percentage rejection of 2nd shift. If you want to compare proportion of 2 samples, it is called test of 2 proportion. If you want to compare more than 2, it's called as chi-square test. Let's say 3 shift proportions. Okay, rejections, या फिर failures. Okay, then it is called chi-square. More than 2, it is chi-square. 2, it is called 2 proportion test. Are you clear? So these are various types of hypothesis testing. Apart from that, as I said earlier, normality test is also hypothesis. Regression also we use hypothesis testing. Is even design of experiment, DOE, is an advanced level tool where also we use hypothesis testing to find out what are the significant factors. So these are various ways in which we can use hypothesis testing in our project as well as in our day-to-day process improvement opportunities. Now let me give you another example of 1 sample t-test as well. Yeah, so let me share a file with you of 1 sample t-test. just download this file. We'll do this practical case before we close the session. Okay. Super. Quarter-wise performance of the same sample. Yes, very good, very good. So pair t-test is where you are comparing these same person's quarter-wise performances. Okay, even ANOVA also. The quarter-wise, quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3, quarter 4. It's ANOVA. Very good. Let me share one example of one sample t-test. Okay. Hope the same example is there. Okay, so let me share my screen. Till the time you guys are opening that, let me explain you the scenario for this. Okay. All right, so oops, ये कहाँ पे आ गया? All right, let me share once again. Till the time you open your this one, oops. Let me stop this and open it once again. Just give me a second. Have you opened the file? Meanwhile, let me just open this. So we are talking about one sample data. Now here we are comparing the sample with the standard. Okay. So there is a pharmaceutical company. I'm just sharing my screen. Yeah. So there is a pharmaceutical company and there is a filling division. Okay. Now they have the medicine bottles and the weight of the medicine bottle is 25 grams. Okay, as I said, it is practical hypothesis testing. So we are taking practical examples. So weight of the medicine bottle is 25 grams. As per the the supplier of the machine, he says it would be 25 grams only. So you want to confirm whether the process is basically adhering to the norms of 25 grams. So the standard is 25 grams and you have the data. So you have got 20 bottles you have collected, you have checked the weight of the bottles and the data has been given to you as one sample t-test. Now just open the file of one sample t-test. Let me see if it is one sample t-test only. Yes. All right. If you open the file one sample t-test, so these are the weights. Everybody open the file. Go to stat basic statistics one sample t-test. Just follow this path, please. Stat basic statistics one sample t-test. Okay. Super. Now this window will come. You have to click here and double click on weight. So weight has to be selected here. Check perform hypothesis test and hypothesized mean will be 25. Okay, I just quickly repeat once again. Go to stat basic statistics one sample t-test. Select double click on weight and check box this perform hypothesis test and put 25 here and click on OK. And here is the p-value. Now what is the null hypothesis here? Let's write down. So you have to basically make this habit of writing null and alternate hypothesis, okay, so that it will be very clear. So what is a null hypothesis? So x bar standard is equal to x bar pilot process, the same process. Now standard is 25, okay, and alternate is it's not equal to, okay. Then we fed the data in the Minitab. P value is 0.680. What is the conclusion? Is it lower than 0.05? No, this is not lower than 0.05. That means we cannot reject null hypothesis. So we have to accept null hypothesis, which says standard equals to the actual. You can see the mean here, 24.946. And our standard is 25. And this is 24.946. There is a slight difference of 0.1, what is that? 54, I would say, yeah. No, 0.054. The difference of 0.054, actual difference, but this is not statistical significant difference, because the p value says there is an overlap of 68%. 68% overlap, so there is no statistical significant difference between standard and actual. Clear? That means this process, this bottling plant machine is perfect. We can go ahead. Can we change one or two values and can we significant difference? Just check. Or Deepak ji, what you can do is, let's say the manufacturer says it should give 30 grams wala bottle. Okay, let's change that now. Let's go back to our data, and manufacturer says my hypothesized mean should be 30. Okay, let's see what is the p value. Now you can see p value is 0.000. That means it is like this. There is literally no overlapping. The p value is 0. So this is 24.946 and this is 30. That means p low null go. So you have to reject null hypothesis and accept alternate. Alternate says there is a statistical significant difference between the two averages. Clear? Just give me yes in the chat box. Clear hai ye? So you just play around this. So this is a probability model. This is a statistical model. Okay. Mathematically, you are observing the difference, but is this difference statistically significant for the long run or not? That is what hypothesis testing tells us. Very powerful, very powerful tool for our projects and for our even day-to-day decision making as well. Clear? Yes. So we have seen the basic of hypothesis testing. We have seen what is null hypothesis, what is alternate hypothesis. We have seen examples, very simple examples like cricket, like KL Rahul, Rishabh Pant, etc. Okay, then we have seen couple of examples on Minitab. What is two sample t-test, what is t-test, what is z-test, okay, z distribution, t distribution, we have seen the difference. Okay, and then we discussed about where practically this will be applicable. Along with that, we have seen various types of hypothesis testings which can be done. Okay, like one sample t-test, two sample t-test, pair t-test, ANOVA, okay, F ratio test, test of equal variances, test of proportion, okay, and chi-square test. There are various tests of hypothesis available, and we discussed that normality test of, normality test, Anderson-Darling, that is also hypothesis testing. Regression is also one type of hypothesis testing. Okay, your design of experimentation also we use hypothesis testing very powerfully. Okay, so hypothesis testing is a very powerful tool used in Lean Six Sigma, so that we have to practically use it, okay, as many times as possible. Okay, which one is more accurate? See, all are used in various ways, but the fundamental is probability and statistics. Okay, so that why hypothesis tests are used, rather than taking decision on the basis of only mathematics, only sample. Check on the longer run, is it really making huge impact or not? Okay, and then accordingly you can take better decision basically. Okay, how can we identify which stats has to be used? Okay, that's what I said. Now that's what I shared. This table you have to refer. Types of hypothesis testing selection table. Okay, if you want to compare two averages, these are the 4 types: one sample t-test, two sample t-test, pair t-test, ANOVA. These are, you want to compare averages between averages. Average of process 1, process 2, process 3. If you want to compare variability, standard deviations, okay, then you can go for this variability test. If you want to go for proportion, then you have to select this. Okay, accordingly you can say. Very good, very good. Clear? Super, super, super. Amazing, amazing. Now, let me just do something very interesting. Just give me a second. Okay. Now, I am starting the recording once again because I want to announce something very interesting today. Okay. All right, good evening once again, ladies and gentlemen, and this is a special announcement because now we have entered into January, month of January, the last quarter of financial year, and this is the quarter where all the organization, this is very interesting announcement, all the organization plan for their next year budget. Okay, so their budgeting exercises, what kinds of, even HR, learning and development, okay, operation people, quality people, all put their budget. All right, now this is the best time. The people who are into master black belt and consulting launch program, this is our harvesting time. This is our harvesting time for the consultants. Okay, so in this time, what is there are a lot of requirements which come. Okay, so right now, for you to get the practical what you can say, exposure to these tools, a lot of people struggle, right? That my management is not giving me the chances, etc. All right, now I'm giving you one opportunity. Okay, if you can speak with, now try to understand this, huh? If you want to speak with your own company right now or your previous organizations, understand this, discuss with them, discuss with the decision maker about Lean Six Sigma. Okay, and set up a call with them and us. Okay, that is what you need to do. After that, what will happen? Let me know. Let me explain you. We will have a Zoom call first with the decision makers. When I say decision makers, if it's a small company, SME, MSME company, then it would be owner and the main decision makers. If it is a MNC, big companies, then the CEO of the organization, the managing director of the organization, or some CXO level person who is the decision maker, along with the HODs, etc., would be a best fit. Okay, then we will have a conversation with them, and we are going to offer them this. Okay, first of all, now this is a very interesting strategy we have created for you people, okay, which you guys can easily pitch for your colleague. Now, so what is that? The first step is the call, a Zoom call with the management, which we will take care of. We will share all the agenda, etc. Step number 2, we will give, this is very interesting, we will give half a day complimentary training program of Yellow Belt to them, half a day, followed by 1 hour presentation to the top management about Lean Six Sigma. Okay, Understand this. And then we will pitch the training and consulting services to your or your ex organization, earlier organization. All right. Okay. Now, understand it. Can you imagine the steps? So you speak with the management, you fix up the meeting on the Zoom call. In the Zoom call, we'll explain them the step, we'll introduce, each other. And then we will offer a free training, complimentary half-day yellow belt training program, which nobody will say no for. Only they have to take care of the travel of the consultants and trainers. Okay. Followed by that, after maybe a lunch, we will have a 1 hour presentation and discussion with management where we will present to them our training as well as consulting services. If they agree for that, all right, you can get a practical demonstration live in your organization where you will get how the training is performed, how the consulting is performed as well. How many of you got this idea? Just give me yes in the chat box. Understood this idea? Yes. So it's a win-win-win model we have created. Everybody, have you understood this? Just give me yes in the chat box. Okay. Are you clear? Super clear? Now, understand this. Once we get a successful project from that deal, you will get some percentage out of it as well. How many of you are mind blown with this? Wow, that is something interesting. So that means you can get a practical exposure, plus you will get some kind of income generating source stream as well, obviously, right? So it's a dual advantageous plan, and this is the right time, okay? For any kind of more information about it, just connect with our with our mentor number. You have to just send a message on 99305 wala number that I'm interested in my organization. I would set up the meeting, I would set up a call, and then see, I would not say 100% management people would agree for this, but out of, let's say, 10 out of 50 out of 10, let's say 3 people would say yes, 4 people, 5 people will say yes. That's a very good strike rate. So our role is to give a try for this, okay? And we are more than happy to support you into this journey, okay? And this will give you immense amount of confidence and clarity in implementation of Lean Six Sigma in your organization, and that will be advantageous for them as well, okay? Yes. How many of you like this idea? Just give me yes in the chat box. Like this idea, this strategy done by our team, our think tank. Fantastic. So grab this opportunity, and it doesn't matter which part of India you are. Okay, from Kashmir to Kanyakumari, from Gujarat till till Manipur, we can do this completely. Okay. Yeah, Giriji will share that on your mentor number. Okay, mentor number से हम आपको share करेंगे that percentage. Fair enough? Yes. Superb. So that's it from my side. I believe take a note of this and start working towards this and make this is a grand success for your next year, so that you can think of launching yourself as a trainer and consultant in near future. Okay, that's what my vision is. I want to create. See, my vision is in next 5 years, I want to create 1,000 Dinesh Patils, and more than Dinesh Patil X. I want to create, okay, the next level of Dinesh Patil, better than me, better performers than me into this industry, so that our economy can get a big boost. Okay, yes, this plan can be done in outside of India as well. Yes, and we have got huge experience working outside of India as well. So even world is a place where we can easily work for. Okay, you can bring clients from US, Canada and Australia, Africa, Middle East, सब जगह पे हम लोग कर सकते हैं. ठीक है? Superb. चलो, so let's there will be a session for consulting program people. Okay, all of you can join for that program. We are inviting a special guest Mr. Satish Shetty for that program. He will be, yeah, thank you. And he is the person who takes care of the Facebook, Instagram advertisement and all the stuff. So how that stuff works, that is something which we are going to discuss at 9 p.m. sharp tonight. Okay, if you are available, please connect it on Zoom, and you will learn a lot of things. Okay, how to generate the leads through Facebook and Instagram. Okay, that's something which we are going to discuss. Thank you very much for joining. Keep learning, keep growing. By the way, tomorrow we have a yellow belt session. If you have some referrals, please send them and grab 4,000 rupees cash back. Okay, bye bye, take care. Yeah, link is there in the community tab. Okay, all the live link session links are available on community tab. Okay.